Hey guys, this is Chess Coach Andrew Rankin. Welcome back to Utah Chess Institute's 1510 games. As you can see, I'm now 1943. I played a couple games on my own just because, oh wait, that's a 10-minute game. Let's change it to 1510. Yeah, I was playing some 10-minute games, just blowing off some steam, playing fast, not commenting, not calculating too much. Kaka. 1600. 27 wins, 54 losses. Alright, I'll play you. Win +2, draw -6, loss -14. He's got the advantage in terms of the low risk, high reward. Also, he's got a crazy name. Makes me a little bit nervous. Especially because he joined 15 days ago, which is a bit sketchy. He takes, that's interesting. I'm pretty sure this is actually the one line that I don't actually know entirely what to do against. So, instinct says E3, but I also want to play A4. Let's go A4. The only problem with A4 is that we give up this square, which is a common situation where he pins the piece there. And then the knight no longer defends on B5. But we'll see how things go. So I'm guessing B5. I mean, maybe I should have just played E3 and just said, like, are you really going to play B5? Go like Gambit style. He does play B5. I think the move here is knight C3, and then after he pushes here, we can go like knight E4. Go here, takes, check. Just move back. Doesn't work. Here. Yes, I think this is a move that I've seen before, but then the knight can go to C5. Granted, he can't play both these moves at the same time. So knight C3, B4, knight E4, either E6, which doesn't make a lot of sense, or bishop to A6, and then we can go knight to C5, threatening to take this guy. So I like that variation. Makes a lot of sense. Now we got two pieces developed. We got pressure on his structure, and he has, I don't know, a pawn. I'm pretty confident, even if we sack the pawn, that we can get a lot of counterplay. I've played a lot of Slav defense note boom variation, where you play similar style, where you play b5 after taking on d4. But the idea is not to win a pawn. The idea is to get connected pass pawns on the queen side. So the ideas that people play against me are now ideas that I can use against them when they play similar Slav setups. I always forget about like taking on c4 and then try and hold on to it with this setup, because I play the Slav myself, but it's just like it's not on my radar to try and grab a pawn in the opening and then hold on to it with like c6, b5, c4, because your dark squares are just incredibly weak. And usually the only real way to hold on to the pawn is like an early e6, bishop b4, and trading off the bishop for the pawn, in which case black ends up with super defensive position with pawns all on light squares and just like praying that his position holds while he can develop in castle and then eventually solidify the position. And then once the position is solidified, then the extra pawn actually counts. But until you castle, until all your pieces are developed and you have no looming threats from white, this extra pawn does not mean anything. So he does push b4. Pretty sure that's the top engine move, so a little bit worried I'm playing against a computer now, but b4 is logical. He did spend 2 minutes on that move, so my idea was knight to e4 here. Is there any immediate downside to that move? I guess he could go queen here. But I mean, we're gonna go to c5, that's the idea. There's also a2, which immediately attacks this pawn, and then I guess e6, and then e3, but I'm pretty sure that's not the right move. So let's move forward. He just blitzes out queen to d5, which makes me a little bit more concerned. Okay. So I had this as the idea. Is he just gonna go here and then just try and win a pawn? Is that the idea? I could go back, put pressure here, and then play e3. The bishop can always go here and we can castle, and once we castle, I think I'm pretty happy. Because the problem with this move is that after e6, I don't see how I stop myself from losing material. So let's go to d2. I guess now he just pushes. No, he goes there. I'm not too worried about that. I could even play this, but then takes or the pin is quite annoying. So go here maybe? Or e4. Wait, after e4, doesn't he just lose this pawn? Oh, but then he can take here after like takes. Oh, but if he takes here, then I have this check. No, the knight guards that. Okay, e4, where's the queen going? Let's say the queen goes just back. And then we play knight takes. Bishop takes. Could play pawn takes. Just have a monster center. So let's go e4. This is not the kind of game that I wanted to play, but it should be interesting. He just takes. Okay. Takes. Okay, I guess that makes sense. But after I take here and you take here, I'll take this. And now I'm threatening mate. Do that. So we're about to have 3 pieces developed. Bishop, knight, queen, castle, and his position is looking a bit unstable. So now mate is threatened. Well, not mate, but this is just nasty. Castling looks interesting. Do we have anything better? Problem is I can't like move anything because of the queen. Let's just castle. How do I kick the queen out like this? That looks so ugly. I think I have to move the bishop, and then the rook, and then the knight. A bit disappointed in myself that I took a game against someone who joined 15 days ago. It's just so sketchy. Yeah, he loses every single game, 10 games in a row, and then starts winning. See his last game. If it's over like 95%, I'm gonna be mad at myself. No, it's not. But he also just slaughtered his opponent with like no, like the game was never losing for him. A bad sign. All right, where's my game? Here it is. Goes bishop here. I'm thinking rook here. On here maybe. Go rook d1. Seems super useful. I'll go bishop back and then something like this. You put pressure here. Maybe threaten this. Now that this guy is under attack. Ugh. Here maybe? Go here. At least now I can play this. Or maybe even this. To reroute over to the king side. Knight on f1. Super solid. Let's say the queen goes here. My knight has to be like one of these two squares, or here to kick him out. Ooh, I can go knight here. Forward progress. I like that. This is nice because it threatens this and this if he castles. So let's say castles, knight c4, bishop moves away, pawn here. Yeah, so knight here. Let's say he doesn't flinch. Let's say he leaves the bishop. Now we're threatening this and this. I don't like that he spent like 2 minutes in the opening, which is like getting his computer ready. And then after that, he's just like blitzed out every move. But not blitzed out. He's taken 15 seconds for every single move, except for castles. He took a minute for castles. And then it's basically, he took a minute for bishop d3. Or sorry, he took a minute for castles. Oh, he took over a minute for bishop d6 after I castled. It's just weird when they play every move in 15 seconds. Ooh, I like that the knight guards the b2 pawn, so now the bishop can really come out. Are we untangling? Here? Doesn't that just win material? Takes, check. What about here? Wait, is this queen trapped? Oh, he's gonna go check. King takes. Queen moves here, but then I have this. Check, I guess, but what if he went... Oh, he could go here. So maybe now's my time to play e5. Okay, so bishop e3, bishop check is the only way to save the queen. King takes, he moves back here. I push the pawn, but then the knight jumps to the middle, and I think our attack has fizzled. But we get a piece. We lose another pawn though, so he has 2 pawns for the piece. Or we can just play e5. I think we win the queen. But no, bishop takes. Check. Say king takes. Rook takes. Bishop takes. Bishop here. Bishop takes. Knight takes. Then we have knight, queen, rook against knight, knight, rook, rook. And we're down 2 pawns. No, we're down... We sack a pawn, but we gain a pawn. So we're down 1 pawn. And we have... Oh wait, does he have 2 rooks, 2 knights, and a bishop at the end of that? So here, 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 here. No, we trade bishops, so he's got 2 knights and 2 rooks against 1 rook, 1 queen, and 1 knight. He's got a pawn, and he's got a rook and a knight for a queen and a pawn. So that's 9 points of material. And if we go here, we simply win 1 point of material. Because he wins a pawn. I feel like this move is just going to run into some nasty computer line. Here. Check is the only move I see that gets this queen out. Let's go here. I'll play up a piece. I'd rather play up a piece than sacrifice like a rook and a bishop for a queen. It's harder to play down a rook than it is up a piece. Just 2 rooks against queen and a rook with lots of minor pieces on the board for him is tricky, versus him just being down a piece I think is much easier. Yeah, he finds it, or maybe the computer finds it. No, queen there, makes sense. Now we have this move. He doesn't go to the middle, he blunders this. We also have this. Or this. And then we trade rooks. We could also go here, threatening this, which wins the queen and threatens back rank ideas. Could also bait this. Queen here. Takes. Meh. Go back here, maybe? No, because then the knight gets this square. So let's just go rook to c1, or maybe king. Go king g1. Nice and safe. Just chilling. I just realized he could sack the queen, but I don't think that's very good. Let's go rook here. Now I think pawn here. I don't want to let this pawn push and allow his queen to come in. This is really simple chess. We could also go knight here to put pressure on this so that his knight is kind of stuck. This looks like an only move, so that's why I think knight here makes a lot of sense, but it's a little loosening. Let's go b3. Now we can have like this threat someday. We also have this idea. I like that he's like anchoring our position, attacking the king side. Now we go here. We're just down here. He doesn't have any of these three squares, so let's just improve our position. C2. Prepare to double up. Rook d2, rook. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. He could play knight here, but it doesn't really hit anything. I mean, it hits this, but we have queen and bishop defending. I guess after here, though, we can't take. Because then if we go here, our pieces are overloaded. They can't defend d1 and the pawn on e4. Also have this sacrifice. So maybe we play a move like queen here. Threatening this. Just poking. Poking the bear. They call it prodding in chess. Prodding is when you just attack pawns, try and get them to move forward, and every time they move forward, creates more weaknesses. I love prodding. Over the board, I think every game where I've used prodding as a means, I've won. Yeah, I can't think of a single game where I felt comfortable over the board and I was like, okay, I'll just prod, that I lost. He has a pawn majority on the king side. Not worried about that. He has a 3-on-2 on the queen side, but the c pawn is basically a backwards pawn. So we're going to try and pile up on that. Do we want to trade off the dark square bishop if, for example, knight c5? That knight is really annoying. This takes, queen takes, check, takes, rook here. That looks pretty good, actually. Knight c5. No, he pushes the pawn. I think that's a mistake. Could push here, but then he goes here. I don't like that. We do have knight here, which looks a bit annoying. This knight looks annoying. What if we just go here? Threaten bishop takes. And he has this knight move. Or rook d2, rook d1. Dimpledy dimpledy. This queen might be overloaded guarding this and this if he moves the knight, which would then no longer guard c5, so. Is there anything wrong with this? What's his plan? I think he's gonna go knight here. I'm not really worried about that. Let's take, pawn takes, and then double up. Looks good. Can he push? I mean, that would really be the only thing, is if he could push. and start to create a pass pawn on the queen side. Let's go here. I wonder if you guys are always like, Andrew thinks everyone's cheating. I feel like you mentioned that in every other video. The reason is because I play with my students, or I watch them play after most of our lesson. They'll play a game or something, and I swear, over 10% of my games on chess.com, the opponent is cheating. It's absurd. It's so many games. I think I told you guys, there's been multiple, at least 3 or 4 times where I've played like 10 games. I come online the next day and I have 3 messages that are like, oh, refunded points because your opponent was cheating. And usually I don't even realize. Like, those aren't even times where I'm thinking like, I think they're cheating. It's just, you're just playing. Granted, when you're playing 10 minutes, the games go by pretty fast. So you lose and you don't have that night. You don't spend so much time calculating the best move and then get crushed by some like obscure line that you didn't even think could happen. Yeah, so now he's trying to create a pass pawn, pass C pawn. So I'm thinking takes, and then when you take here, I'll take that. And then we can blockade here and the queen can come over. That looks good. Rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, queen takes, forced. And then bishop takes c5, knight takes c4, pawn takes c4. Queen drops in. I go here. Queen check. I go here, but then I lose this pawn. So takes. Queen d2. Maybe I just play queen d1 there, threatening threatening queen to d8 check, and then when he goes here I have the discovered check winning the knight. Granted, he could take the bishop. Oh no, because after I go queen here, he'd have to move his queen somewhere. So let's do that. Besides, we're up a piece. We're down 2 pawns. Or he has 2 pawns for the piece, but... Ooh, now he only has 1 pawn for the piece. And this pawn is going to fall. So if he wants queen to d2, he has to play knight takes knight. Pawn takes. And then queen d2, queen to d1. And yeah, I don't think you're going to make much progress there. The bishop is actually really well placed on c2. So props to me on that. A brilliant slight improving move. He goes there, that makes sense. But now I'm thinking queen d1. Grab the open file, or maybe even better is queen d3. No, because then he takes, and then you can push that, and that looks kind of no bueno. Guess I could always go here. If we trade queens, though, I mean, you're just losing. Your knight has no way in. So here. I mean, my bishop guards b1, and this guy's just going to go win him. So yeah, let's go queen to d3, and then we're threatening this and this. Yeah, queen bishop battery. Of course, the queen goes at the front. Spearhead style. Now this doesn't even allow knight to d5, because now we have this beautiful pawn on c4. Here. Nope. What about here? Here. Queen takes, check. Knight here, checkmate. Here, queen takes this, check. Knight here, checkmate. So doesn't this just win a piece? Here, let's say he blocks the check. Say he goes here maybe? But then that's checkmate, because the bishop guards his escape square. So here, takes, checkmate. Here, 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 mate, here. Yeah, this is just crushing. Brilliant. E5 is brilliant. Check this out. Bing, bang, boom. All right, guys, that was, not gonna lie, that was pretty hard earned +2. All that for 2 points. Let's log out, and I want to do a real game analysis. I like playing on lead chess better. It's just more smooth. The making the account. Yeah, I didn't think I played well in the opening. Look at that. It's like, and then it's like brilliant. And then apparently I made a blunder at the end, or he made a blunder. Ah, he made a blunder. He made this a blunder. E5 is not the best move. Bishop d6. Wait, what can he play after e5? Apparently queen c5 is not winning. Oh, queen f8. This is still winning. Can I take the queen and then take the knight? Apparently this is incredibly difficult to win because we're down so many pawns. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns against my 4. So he's got 2 extra pawns. Interesting. Let's go back to the beginning though. I don't actually know what to play here. I should, but I don't, because no one ever plays it. No one ever plays d takes c4. e3. That was my first instinct. Could have gone with my gut. a4, not bad though. b5 wants just to trade. That makes sense. Makes more sense. We can soften things up. Was there knight e4, best move. That's good to know. And he just blitzes out queen d5. Apparently losing move. Knight e to g5. This is winning. What? What? Why? h6. e4. Queen d6. Knight takes f7. King takes f7. Bishop c4 check. Right, of course I'm gonna find all of these moves. Knight e5. Threatening the fork. That's ridiculous. Who plays like that? That's insane. Alright, good to know. And we missed knight to g5. e4 though was better than e3. Queen takes, bishop takes. Knight takes was better. That makes sense, because I ended up wanting my knight on this square, and we had to do some rerouting, which was quite annoying. Excuse me. Knight c5, I was pretty proud, or knight c4, I was pretty proud of that move, because I felt like it gave us some significant winning chances. Still wants queen takes. Queen g3. Alright. I just move the king back. Improve the rook. Pawn moves there. Bishop here. Excellent. Excellent move. Pushes the pawn. Double the rooks. Now he goes here. Bishop takes c5 first. Oh, of course. Of course. Didn't even think about changing the move order up. Bishop takes c5. Takes there. Queen d3. And now e5. Not so good. Not so good. We went from +9 to +2. So really not so good. Just bishop d6 and then e5. Or even queen d6 is winning. Threatening this. Oh, of course. Alright. Well, I hope you guys found that useful. I definitely learned some things. And I'll post it on YouTube and catch you next time. Bye.